Hello, gentlemen and gentlewomen, boys and girls. It's Professor William back again for lesson number 3, Unit 2. And today the topic of the chapter is difficult decisions. And let's take a look at this little box here. The grammar we're going to focus on today is the 0, first, and second conditionals, and vocabulary, ed and ing adjectives, and adverb clauses. So let's start by listening to the conversation on the next page between Robert and Helen.
Unit 2, page 10, conversation. You know that if I have a problem, I always ask you for advice.
Yes? What is it this time?
It's about my job at the bank.
Hold on a minute, I'm going to turn that up a little bit and restart it.
Unit 2, page 10, conversation. You know that if I have a problem, I always ask you for advice.
Yes? What is it this time?
It's about my job at the bank. I've been working there for 3 years now, and I haven't had a promotion. Not even a pay raise. I'm really disappointed.
Well, times are hard, you know. It's probably the same for everybody.
No, at least 2 people in my department have had a promotion this year.
Well, maybe you're just not very good at your job.
Hey, that's not fair. I work really hard.
Yes, I know. I was only joking. Do you get along well with your boss?
Who, Tony? Yes, he's great.
So, why don't you speak to him about it? I'm sure if you explained the situation, he'd understand.
I suppose I could do that. It's not really his decision, though.
No, but if you ask him, he'll help you. He can contact whoever is responsible.
Yes, maybe you're right. I guess if I don't do anything, nothing will happen.
Okay, and let's go over here to this box here, language box, and let's take a look at the verb forms. These are called conditionals.
Unit 2, page 10, language box.
If I have a problem, I always ask my friend for advice. If you ask him, he'll help you. If I don't do anything, nothing will happen. If you explain the situation, he'd understand.
Okay, so let's go over to page 103. Take a look at these. The first conditional is called the 0 conditional, and we use it to talk about things that are true. If I have a problem, I always ask my brother for advice. Okay. To make the 0 conditional, both verbs are in the simple present. So you see this verb here, simple present, and this verb, simple present. Same thing here. And you can use if or when. They have the same meaning. When I drink coffee, I get a headache. And let's take a look at the first conditional. We use the first conditional to talk about the result of a future possible event. If you pass the exam, I'll buy you a present. What will we do if it rains? So to make this one, we use if, my cursor here, if plus a simple present, past, verb, will or won't, I will, and the infinitive, buy. And you can see that this part here can be first. So I can say, I'll buy you a present if you pass the exam. But if this one is first, then we don't use the comma. See that? I won't go to the party if Tim is there. No comma. And to make a question, we put this WH word first. Will. What will we do if it rains? Okay, you can see this part is first and this part is second. We can also say, if it rains, what will we do? Okay. And let's take a look at the next one. The second conditional. And we use this one to talk about unlikely or imaginary situations. If I won $100,000, I'd take a long vacation. Okay, so it's not likely that I win this much money, but it's an imaginary situation. Okay, it's unlikely. So to make this one very similar to the first, we use if plus simple past. If I won, not win, but won. Would or wouldn't, I would. And the infinitive, take. This one you can also switch it. I'd take a long vacation if I won $100,000. And to make a question, we use the same form. What would you do if you won 1 million? Or, if you won 1 million, what would you do? Okay, so we can say, if I, she, he, it was, or if I, he, she, it were. For example, if I were a doctor, I would help people in the hospital. Or if I were a baseball player, I would play for the Red Sox. Okay? You can use was or were. And this part, what I already told you, the if clause can come first or second. Use a comma if it comes first. I already told you that, so you know that. So let's take a look at this exercise and complete the sentences using the conditional. Okay, so you can stop the video, try to finish that, and then look at the answer. Okay, here are the answers. Okay. If you won a lot of money, what would you do? And so on. The next page, match the phrases. You can stop the video and do part 2 and part 3. Okay, now I'm going to show you the answers. Okay, that's for the first one. And this is the third one. Okay. Those are the answers. If you could move house, doesn't really make sense. Let's do number 2. I would talk to my brother if I have a problem. Okay. It actually should be had a problem, but let's go to number 3. If you go out without a coat, you will catch a cold. Okay, that one's good. I don't know who writes this book. Some of these are not right. Okay, and part 2. If we don't leave now, we'll miss our train. Okay, and so on. Let's go back to the unit 2. Vocabulary. Complete the text using an ed or ing adjective. What's the difference between ed and ing? For example, astonish. Astonished or astonishing? What's the difference? Well, the ed describes how I feel. I feel embarrassed. I feel irritated. I feel satisfied. The ing ending tells us what makes me feel a certain way. For example, that TV show is very irritating. That pizza was very satisfying. The pizza makes me feel satisfied. The TV show makes me feel irritated. It's very irritating. Got it? Okay, so try to complete that. Alright, let's see the answers. Okay. People are always astonished. Okay, and so on. Alright. Circle the correct adjectives with the ed or the ing ending. Okay, stop the video and try to do those. Okay, let's take a look. Who's the most amusing person you know? What makes you most worried? Exhausted? Terrifying? Interested? Okay. Try to make a sentence or two using the ed and ing ending. For example, I get annoyed when my train is late. Okay, can you make a sentence? So how about a lot of traffic or getting caught in a traffic jam is very frustrating. Okay, so try to make a sentence or two. It'll help you. And let's go on to the next part. Before you listen, try to complete this conversation with the first or second conditional. Okay. So after you're done trying, let's take a listen. Hear the answer.
Unit 2, page 11, real life exchange.
So, did you decide what to do after you graduate from college?
No, if I don't apply for a job soon, it will be too late.
Well, there's nothing wrong with taking your time.
That's true. Maybe if I save some money, I'll go on vacation.
Good idea. But it would be better if you found a job first.
Okay, so the answers. Okay, did you get those? I hope so. Down to part 2. Expressing opinions. Complete the expressions using these words. Okay. Okay, and our answers are, these are common English expressions. As far as I'm concerned, I think you're right. Okay, and let's take a listen to the answers for this part.
Unit 2, page 11, strategy.
1. As far as I'm concerned. 2. I agree with you up to a point. 3. I think you're right. 4. I don't agree at all. 5. I totally agree. 6. If you ask me.
Okay, so actually that's not part 2. Okay, let's go to the last part we'll do today, which is pronunciation, page 122. And today we're going to take a look at word stress. Look at these words. These are all 4-syllable adjectives. What does 4-syllable mean? It means there's 4 sounds. Astonishing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Embarrassing. Okay, so let's take a listen to how they are pronounced.
Unit 2, page 122, pronunciation.
Astonishing. Embarrassing. Encouraging. Disappointing. Reassuring. Understanding. Satisfying. Irritating. Fascinating.
Okay, did you hear those? So the first one we would say astonishing, embarrassing, encouraging, and so on. So practice those a few times, and I'll leave you there for today. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.